Viewers, I have created a new YouTube channel for covering other global conflicts like Russia-Ukraine conflict, US-China, China-Taiwan conflicts, other conflicts like in the Middle East, in other parts of Africa as well. On this channel, we'll cover Horn of Africa, mainly Ethiopia, Somalia, Kenya, neighboring countries like Sudan as well, Eritrea too. But it's difficult to cover global conflicts on this channel. That is why I have created another channel. The name of the channel is Conflict News 24. I have shared the link in this video's comment section, in this video's description section, and on this channel's community section. You can click the link to watch videos on Conflict News 24. I'll try to upload videos on daily basis on that channel, Conflict News 24. Welcome to today's second video. First news story is from Somaliland, where we know that government and opposition are locked into a dispute over next presidential election due to be held in November. And meanwhile, today in Erigavu city of Somaliland, some meetings were held. Hundreds of youth attended these meetings, and after these meetings, youth made some announcements. Secondly, a new story from the Amhara region of Ethiopia, where first batch of commando police unit graduated today. It means that Amhara region is building a commando unit of its police. Thirdly, we have a new story, two news stories for you from Oromia. Firstly, government-backed news sources have shared pictures of an OLA commander that he has surrendered. And fourthly, an Amhara regional government official who is working as head of a department today urged Jawar to do something for the people of Oromia. A lady, what did she say? Fifthly, a new story about Western Tigray. Getachew, Tigray presidential spokesperson, today shared an article about constitutional status of this territory, which is a cause of dispute between Tigray and the Amhara region of Ethiopia. And lastly, viewers, in Dallas, Texas, we know that Eritrean Diaspora Festival is due to be held from the 5th to the 7th of August. This Diaspora Festival will be held. Eritrean opposition groups are trying to stop this program. Meanwhile, Tiffany Haddish, Eritrean comedian in the US, she's basically a US citizen, she could participate in this Diaspora Festival in Dallas, Texas. Will this festival be held or will it be cancelled? Firstly, Somaliland, viewers, where opposition parties Wadani, UCID, and opposition and government party Kulmiye of Musibai Abdi are locked into a dispute over next presidential election due to be held in November this year. Opposition parties are accusing Musibai Abdi that he is not interested in taking the country towards next presidential election. Government accused opposition parties. The opposition parties are not interested in formation of electoral commission, in registration of new political parties, and they accuse opposition parties that they are undermining the process leading to presidential election. So both groups are exchanging accusations. Meanwhile, today a meeting was held in Erigavu. Erigavu is in Somaliland. Hundreds of youth attended this meeting. And after the conclusion of this meeting, the youth members asked Musi Bhai Abdi to conduct presidential election on time on the 13th of November. No delay will be tolerated. Are these youth part of Wadani and UCID party? Are they from opposition? Erigavo, is it stronghold of Wadani party? What we have learned is that different parties have their standing, their presence in Erigavo, and this meeting was a sort of non-partisan meeting. And these youth want election to be held on time. If election is not held on time, what will happen? It means youth could become part of demonstrations. If in coming days there is delay and there is no consensus between opposition and government, then youth movements could also start. Today's meeting indicates, and some say that opposition parties are behind these meetings. They want to put pressure upon Musi Bhai Abdi's government that the government should agree to opposition parties' demands for the next presidential election. So overall, we can say that this activity of youth in Erigao is very healthy. But let's hope that these youth are not backed, they're not being used by any political party. Watch this clip showing the meeting of Erigao youth in Somaliland. Secondly, towards Amhara region of Ethiopia, which says it is making preparations to defend itself from a new offensive by Tigray Defense Force on its territories, is recruiting new youth in its forces. Amhara Special Force, Amhara Regional Force, Amhara militias, all are recruiting, and a new unit has been formed, Police Commando Unit. First batch of this unit graduated today in the Amhara region of Ethiopia. Yilkal Kifale, Amhara region's president, ENDF officers, Ethiopian National Defense Force officers, and Amhara Special Force officers, they participated in the graduation ceremony of these newly graduated police commandos. These days, the jobs available to Ethiopian youth are in security sector, because all armed groups, militias, forces are recruiting. I wonder how these regions will maintain these forces. On daily basis, we see pictures, videos showing new graduation ceremonies of recruits somewhere in Ethiopia. How will these recruits be given salaries? Because we know that a few days ago, some Amhara Special Force soldiers went on strike. They said their salaries were unpaid, and now more are being recruited in Police Commando Unit of Amhara Special Force. There must be peace in Ethiopia first. That is how you can channel this money towards the betterment of the people, the society. Otherwise, large portion of public funds will go to the security forces in all regions of Ethiopia, especially in Amhara, Tigray regions of Ethiopia. Thirdly, we have two news stories from Oromia. From East Wellega, a picture for you shared by Ethiopian government-backed news sources, and they claim that OLA fighter, an OLA commander has surrendered. His name is Lika Dullacha, and in East Wellega zone of Oromia region, he has surrendered. OLA is not expected to acknowledge that its commander has surrendered. Whenever it happens, OLA says that these are not OLA members. They are government-backed Shines, government-created Shine members. They have nothing to do with OLA Oromo Liberation Army. Fourthly, viewers, an interesting news story is about Jawar Mohammed, Oromo opposition politician on diaspora visit these days, on a visit to meet diaspora these days. He has extensively traveled in Europe in the last few weeks. Then he arrived in the US. I think these days he's in Canada. A Prosperity Party, Oromia Party government official a few hours ago posted a message for Jawar. Name of this official is Lilise Duga. Lilise Duga is Oromia region's tourism commission head, a lady. She addresses Jawar. She said, Jawar, use your influence for the betterment of the people of Oromia, people of Guji, lowland, Ballet, and other drought-affected areas. Use your influence and try to work for sustainable development in the Oromia region of Ethiopia. Do something for the people. Some project which lasts forever, for years, and people remember you. And you can do it because you have the influence. Jawar has not replied so far. And the lady has shared a picture with Jawar. You can see the picture shared by Lilise Duga. Now, how is this message from Lilise Duga being seen? She wants Jawar to do something for drought-affected people. If you ask me, firstly, yes, it's the government's responsibility to tackle this crisis. Jawar has no funds. Basically, Oromia regional government is responsible to tackle drought crisis. So she should not pass on the responsibility to Jawar. Having said that, opposition parties can do a lot as well. What are the opposition parties in Ethiopia doing these days? If a party can organize diaspora meetings across Europe, in the US as well, why can't it organize fundraising programs for drought-affected areas of Oromia? Why can't Jawar Beklegarba go on diaspora trip to raise funds for the people of Oromia? They can't do that. Don't give this money to the government. They can spend this money through their own organizations. They can't do that. The lady is trying to pass on government's responsibility to Jawar. It's not, it shouldn't be appreciated. But on the other hand, opposition parties have responsibility as well. Yes, government is more responsible, but opposition can play its role. Jawar, other politicians, especially Jawar, who has charisma, who is loved by Oromos, though his recent appearances have led to some internal frictions among Oromo diaspora in the US. But he can raise funds, he should raise funds for the drought-affected areas of the Oromia region of Ethiopia. Fourthly, viewers, a new story from the US about Eritrean Diaspora Festival. After a successful diaspora festival organized in Stockholm, Sweden, another Eritrean festival is due to start on the 5th of August in Dallas, Texas. From the 5th till the 7th of August, this festival will be held. Large number of Eritrean diaspora members are expected to attend this program. Funds will be raised. $600,000 were raised in Stockholm, Sweden. These festivals are a major source of fundraising for Eritrean government. Preparations are underway. Eritrean opposition groups are trying to stop this program, like they forced the change of venue in Stockholm, Sweden, where the park where festival was due to be held, its administration cancelled a contract with festival organizers in Stockholm. Rumors being spread that festival has been cancelled, but so far the festival has not been cancelled. Instead, we are seeing a social media campaign that Tiffany Haddish is expected. She will attend this diaspora festival in Dallas, Texas. Tiffany Haddish, who is from the US, a US citizen, but his family is from Eritrea. She is known for speaking for Eritrea. She traveled to Eritrea a few months ago. She met with Isaias Afwerki, Eritrean president, and she is known for speaking about rich Eritrean culture, Eritrean history in her talk shows, in her appearances in media. She is reportedly going to attend Diaspora Festival in Dallas, Texas. Her participation could attend more participants in this upcoming Diaspora Festival. Lastly, viewers, Getachew, Tigray presidential spokesperson, a few hours ago shared an article saying that Western Tigray is part of Tigray. No question about that, no doubts about that. But those third parties who have any doubts, they should read this article. The article is written on Ethiopia Insight by Abel Tisfaye. And the writer of this article claims that historically, if you look back at history, 1917, 80s, 90s, if you look at the last 30, 40-year history, it is proven that Western Tigray is part of Tigray. Amhara region also has its claims over Western Tigray. Getachew said this article proves that there is no question that Western Tigray is part of Tigray, but we know that Amhara regional government is on record, its president, that that Volkait is non-negotiable, that Volkait is Amhara. So both sides are, they have very rigid positions about this area, and very rightly Getachew said a few hours ago that the solution to Western Tigray, if it does not happen, it could lead to disintegration of Ethiopia. We don't know if it can lead to disintegration, but it can lead to start of a new armed escalation if there is no resolution. Thank you for watching.